Diving. 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 Diving.
What do you think about them?
Diving. Diving.
Glory.
Diving. Diving.
Glory.
Diving.
Glory.
Welcome back, Diving for Glory, episode 24.
She's got a smelly gas. Looks like there's a slapper. She's got a smelly gas.
Yeah, smelly gashes and all. What it do? What it do? D4G, season 2, episode 24. Your host, Pep Corsiola, and my man, Sir Solomon. What it do?
What's up?
Yay. This week, we have City getting a visit from the Gunners. We have Barcelona hosting Valencia. Leverkusen accusing Munich of bad things, man. And Lyon actually give PSG a first, taking their virginity. Diving for Glory, man. Post every Monday and Thursday during Champions League. Oh, coming back at you next week, son. And don't forget, man, find us on Twitter at Diving for Glory and Facebook as well. You can find us on iTunes, YouTube, and divingforglory.com for the episodes. And listen, like us, share us, rate us, 5 stizzies, please. All right, we're going to get right into this. Just a cup, jersey tucked, boots laced. Diving for Glory, let's go. Yeah, finally, man, get the fuck to talk about champagne football.
Campaign.
Manchester City get a visit from the Gunners for the second time not the second time this season, but they play for the second time as they played in the very first game of the year, which was a 2-0 Manchester City win. Coming off of a midweek loss to Newcastle, these are obviously, every game is crucial, but it becomes even more crucial in said scenario. And as Man United continue to creep, Chelsea, keep it tight. Top 4. Arsenal need the points bad as hell, too. So, big match. And Sir Solomon, man, talk about it.
Yeah, Arsenal needed the points to stay because the midfield games they had
The midweek.
in the midweek games they had moved into 4th place, and to stay there they would have had to get a result against the City team that is chasing Liverpool, and the midweek games had fucked them up because had Liverpool not tied Leicester, they would have actually gone past them.
So, Manchester United drew in midweek 2-2 with Burnley. Chelsea got their motherfucking ass handed to them by Bournemouth 4-0. And Arsenal got all 3 points 2-1. And Tottenham also won in midweek. So that's kind of sets the scenario for what Arsenal was looking to do here, man. At least a point, right?
Yeah, that ideally, more than just at least a point, at least a performance, because they don't look like they left London. The team bus went, but Mr. Unai Emery, let's get into him really quickly. And if we look at the lineups, they were ridiculous.
That was the first thing. As soon as I saw the lineup, I texted my Arsenal informant. I said, "Just saw the lineup. City 4-1."
Yeah, I was like, they're gonna win. I was watching with my
This Iwobi and Aubameyang
defenders behind Iwobi, and first of all, if you're gonna do that and have one playmaker behind 2 strikers, you have Aaron Ramsey, you have Mesut Ozil,
and you just signed
Denis Suarez.
Yep.
So You now have a team that has 3 number 10s for a coach, a manager who does not know how to use the number 10. So that was interesting, and it was least surprising that they lost. It was surprising that they lost so quickly and went out with such a whimper.
Well, I feel like first half, I mean, they had opportunity. They had, I mean, that was it. There was their only opportunities, actually, because they got none in the second half. They had chances. They definitely could have, every team at some point is going to get chances on City. But the disappointing part was, and this was supposed to be what had changed with Emery, is like they showed up in the second half and they were kind of like, I guess we're going to lose this game.
In the first half, since Aguerro scored early, they only had 4 shots, 2 on target, 2 blocked, right? That was their total output.
Game.
But even then, even when they were doing that, City in that same half had 6 shots with 4 on target. So even in their good, quote unquote, like decent run, they're completely outdone. In the second half, City had 13 motherfucking shots to their
8 on
0.
target, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
0 shots, 0 on target. That's unacceptable.
0 corner kicks, offside,
0 big
0
chances.
nothing. You know. So
honestly, in all the games that we've looked at statistically, I've never seen this many zeros.
oh, and then crosses 0 of 3 crossing.
But again, to that lineup selection, you saw this coming. The first thing that I said is they're not going to have any service to Lacazette and Aubameyang, and true, they didn't have any.
Yeah, like
all.
when you do something weird like this, the outcome has to be very different because I assume you're trying to pull some sort of surprise over your opponent, and so that's why we don't understand it. When you win, we go, oh, what? This was just a boneheaded ass move, and he got punished by it by a team that's actually chasing big things.
Isn't this the lineup he ran a few weeks ago when he lost to West Ham?
Yep.
The fuck, dude. So.
And like in an embarrassing manner. And this lineup, Said Kolasinac, what the fuck is he? He can't
automatic
defense.
starter.
He's a midfielder now. Like apparently that's what they want in a midfielder. Alex Iwobi, automatic starter. Guendouzi and Lucas Torreira, I get, but like all the time, just the two of them. Like there's no creativity. Arsenal used to be a team that was known for so much creativity. Like they played against a team in Manchester City that had about like 6 number 10s, and I'm not saying it like literally from the position, but like 6 guys or 7 guys that could be a team built around them on offense, and they had 0.
Yeah, and I think if anything, man, you double pivot Guendouzi and Torreira, and then have Ramsey in there, kind of trying to be the link-up
what's
guy.
the point of having all these workers if you don't have them working for somebody? You know, like, I don't get it, but apparently that's the direction they're going, and I think the Manchester United and Arsenal passed each other like trains in the night this weekend. I don't think Manchester United looks back, and I think Arsenal is out of the top 4 competitions.
Oh, wow.
I think Manchester United is staying in 5th or moving up. They're going to pick up, if you look at the style of play, he has gone back to Alex Ferguson's style of picking up all points against shit teams. And if a team does that, they're very, very difficult to, like for a top 4. For a championship, you have to do more than that, you know?
I'm reading, or at least the notes here say that KDB came off late with an injury. I didn't see that it was an injury. Was it?
It was, but it's not serious.
Minor,
it's just part of the healing, so...
Yeah, I thought
he is becoming a bit of a glass man, though.
It's kind of always been.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like it's becoming his career trait.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because when he's on, he's kind of like was a Van Persie. I always think of like when he plays, it's like amazing, but he just doesn't
Van Persie
play
was
it.
also kind of notorious for not being willing to play unless he's 100%.
100% Porsche, the BMW type attitude. But Aguero went off here. Sterling, even in a non-spectacular game for him, produces two assists. I thought Bernardo was fucking amazing.
He was
here.
everywhere. He was all over the place. When they played against who was it, Tottenham, or he was all over the place, but he looked really out of his element. But this game, like that was the Bernardo Silva they paid a lot of money for. He really played nice.
So, Mr. Do-It-All, Fernandinho, what do you think about his movement here? They made they kept making the point about 5 or 6 times how they would run a three-man back line as long as they had the ball, and as soon as they gave up the ball, he'd fall back to be that center back. Putting too much on one player here?
Putting too much thought to it here, because everything you're planning looks good when your other team is shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, what we were trying to do was this intricate da-da-da. Yeah, it never got tested, so okay.
Yeah, I'm just talking about, like, City has 3 games this week, and Fernandinho.
I'm just impressed that they got away. Not impressed, but like disappointed more in Arsenal. But like any game that they get away with moving Fernandinho out of the holding midfielder spot and they don't look imbalanced is a positive. And they need to experiment with that.
And
more.
Otamendi playing 90 minutes here.
Yeah, exactly. And Ilkay getting more time in that pivot role. Like
that pass, man. Yeah. That pass. He was nice. He was really nice in this game too.
He's a player that has never played in his true position since he came to Manchester City, and he still made a good career out of it so far.
Yep. Who's your man of the match here? Iwobi?
Sergio
Aguerro, City champion.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
3 goals. He scored early in both games, actually, even the loss against Newcastle and then this game too. And he was a man in form. And my favorite goal was the one he scored with his hand.
Oh man, who are you telling?
Yeah, that was dope. That was like you get a second Argentine passport for that. Messi has done it. Maradona has done it. Aguerro has done it.
Aguerro, no doubt. All right, moving along, take you over to La Liga, to a game that 2% of the United States population could watch because beIN Sports has been effectively assassinated or taken out to dry, man. Anyway, Barcelona hosting Valencia. Valencia have been on the up and up, and Barcelona looking to increase their lead at the top of the table. You watched this game.
Yes, and Barcelona increases their lead on top of the table in a way that they had not planned to. They, in taking a book out of a previous midweek team Liverpool's game plan, they tied and extended their lead. We will see this team theme a lot this weekend, and Valencia jumped on them.
I was going to say Barca showed some grit in this game, going down 2-0 early.
Barca showed that Valverde's every time Barca has lost this season, and even most games that they lost last season, were due to his rotation. And I agree with the need to rotate players. But just because rotation is necessary doesn't mean that the way you rotate is correct. And this game, you're playing against a hot Valencia. He decided Jordi Alba is not going to be necessary for this game. Even though he's healthy, let's play a right back as left back and have him on the bench. You know what else? Biscuits is suspended. So since we're moving Rakitic into his position, let's not even play Arturo Vidal. So out of the 3-man, out of the 3-man midfield that they normally play, Biscuits is suspended. Rakitic is playing in Busquets' position, and Arthur got benched for this game because rotation.
And so we are going to talk about this later. So question regarding rotation, because you often talk about how Copa del Rey doesn't mean much, but all of a sudden it's a lot different when your match is a two-legged affair with Real Madrid, and they play them in midweek. Do you think this is influencing the lineup here?
It could be. I don't think it should. I think that at this level, and if you look at a lot of the guys on this team, like Busquets is the one that needs to get rested. He was suspended, so he's rested. Rakitic, you'll see, he'll play against Madrid. Most of this team will play again, and I think that they can. I think that you can play multiple games with the same team in a week. You just can't do it all the fucking time. That doesn't mean that because somebody played in midweek, they should not play, you know? And then at the same time, when you do that, you have players like Lionel Messi and stuff that have, like, you know, almost can decide when they're going to play, which is all the time. And then you're telling everybody else about rotation. Like, you have to have a system that works. Valencia is the game you put out your best fucking team. You have a fuckload of no-name teams that you can Leganes, this, that, you know. But this game is a big game. You put out a big team, and especially Dembele is not here, so Coutinho's playing in his position. The midfield, like I told you, is completely. And they made them pay within 3 minutes. I texted you, 3 minutes into the game, they had already hit the post.
Yep.
And that hit on the post came after Ter Stegen wonder save. So they had 2 shots in one play, you know?
Yeah.
And second half of Thomas Vermaelen. I'm sorry, I forgot about him. Thomas Vermaelen played 90 minutes in this game.
Yep.
Badly.
They're a little thin there, isn't Longley? Oh, no, he's back. Longley.
Oh, no, they're not at all thin right now because they actually signed 2 defenders in the January transfer window. They got Tobido from Toulouse, and then they signed from Valencia. They got actually Jason Murillo.
No doubt. So Barcelona clawed this back. What happened here with Valencia? Why were they unable to produce anything else the rest of the game?
Barcelona had a lot of the ball and a lot of opportunities, and even the fact that even when they went ahead, Barcelona was at the time playing better football. It was just some beautiful counter attacks.
Valencia will be happy with a point away to
It
Barcelona.
was an awesome point, fully deserved. And if you look at the possession, for example, Valencia had 31% in the first half, 32% in the second half, you know. But they still made that work. Their direct approach gave Barca a lot of problems. When at halftime they took out Nelson Semedo and brought in Jordi Alba. Bringing in Jordi Alba was necessary, and he changed, like the whole left side got tightened after that. But it was not Nelson Semedo, I think, that should have got substituted. It was Sergio Roberto, because he's actually the guy that gave up the penalty. He couldn't keep up with the pace of the game. So, but he moved to right back and he was fine. And after that, they brought in Arthur and they tightened it up and basically reverted to original Barca, and that's when they really gave Valencia problems.
So, do you give Valverde any props there for making the right substitutions? Or were the substitutions just that
They were
plain?
glaring.
Yeah.
Like, you put a guy in left back and he gave a penalty. Like, I think even that substitution was wrong because that guy should have come off. So,
Yeah.
you know. But way to get a point. I think Valverde should take blame for the 2 points missed, actually.
Word up. Keeps Barcelona still at the top of the table. Valencia.
If I don't see Thomas Vermaelen play another minute of football for Barcelona, I would be a happy man.
He's been on there, about 3 years now?
Something. He even went to Roma and came back on and like he's.
He was an interesting signing to begin with. He came from Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yeah. There it is, man. There it is. All right. Who's your man of the match?
Lionel Messi.
The brace.
Yeah.
The brace. Word up. All right. La Liga. Moving along. Take you over to Bundesliga, where Bayern squandered a 1-0 advantage and got smizzed. Talk about it.
I wouldn't call it squandered because they were outplayed for a lot of the game, and being ahead was good because in fact in the first half they even had less possession, but Bayern Leverkusen didn't have their shooting feet, so they took a 1-0 lead. But Leverkusen in the second half, once they got over their initial fear of Bayern Munich, just put on a show and just fucked them up.
Leon Bailey got it cracking.
Yeah, with a beautiful, beautiful free kick. And then Kevin Volland and Lucas Alario finished them off. Even got Fergie time, 5 additional minutes of injury time, and they couldn't make shit happen. This was another game where the manager put out a shit lineup. And Bayern Munich, if you're gonna be committed to freezing somebody out, then
Freeze him.
do it. Yeah, do it. Or bring it when you start bringing them back in, bring them in off the bench and let them work in it. You know.
Yeah.
For having said James Rodriguez and like really not having him play a lot, he decided the Leverkusen game against a very hot, nice Leverkusen team was to play him as the number 10. And when you look at this team that is very, very dependent on the two wingers, they were both injured for this game. It was like Robin and Ribery. They didn't have both of them. So James Rodriguez playing. It was a game for them to lose points, really.
Ner's injured?
Yeah, he's injured. Thiago couldn't play in this game. I think he was injured too.
No Ribery, no Robin.
No,
But
yeah, that's
whatever.
what I'm saying. So
Like the
they
norm.
should still have put him down. But
Yeah, for sure. But Leverkusen is nothing to sleep on, man. They got my man Sven Bender.
yeah, his brother was Lars Bender.
Don't forget Julian Brandt, the guy who
Sven
took.
Bender used to play for Dortmund.
Oh yeah, I know, I remember.
Yeah, man.
And Julian Brandt, the guy who was better than Leroy Sané. But they do have a nice team, man.
They have a very nice team, and they're coached by last year's Bayer Leverkusen by Borussia Dortmund coach Peter Bosz.
They've been on a nice run lately, actually. A lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins in their last 11. Yeah. Word up. So that was news to Dortmund's ear for sure.
It was simultaneous games, and they actually both went down around the same time.
No doubt. Who was your man of the match here?
Man of the match, I'm gonna give it to Lyon Bailey just because I admired the shit out of his goal.
Word up. Nothing like a little foreshadowing. Yay. Moving along, Liga 1. Oh shit, which we never really do in this slot, but something must have happened that is worth talking about, and that is PSG taking an L for the first time this year.
They weren't ready for that Olympic.
No, they were not. No, Neymar. They actually went up in this game.
Yes, did you see the celebrations for the goal that went up?
No, I did not.
Oh Lord, Angel Di Maria is a fool. But yeah, he got him ahead in the 7th minute, and it looked like just another PSG game until the second half. Actually, no, until about the 33rd minute when Moussa Dembele assisted. And then the second half was a Lyon fairy tale.
No doubt. Nabil Fekir with the penalty to take all 3 points, and it's still not a race.
It's not at all.
It doesn't matter, man. They took a L here. And I mean, Cavani, Mbappe, Draxler, Di Maria, Alves. I mean, they still put out a lot of talent here, man. Do they have any business losing with that? Is Neymar that crucial to them, or they just need to get used to playing without him again?
I think Lyon is a Champions League team, and like at home, they've beaten City. They've given big teams big problems. You know, on a one-off, yeah, they're gonna lose games over the course of a season, but they're just, you know, it's gonna happen. I don't think that if they had like lost to like Toulouse or something, I'd be intrigued. But
oddly enough, wow, Lyon with the majority of possession in the half that they were down. But second half, 3 total shots, 3 on target, 2 goals.
yeah,
Clinical, to say the least.
Mr. Dembele, they couldn't handle him. He had the goal, and then he was the one that got fouled for the penalty that what's his face scored.
Fekir, Nabil Fekir, yay, no doubt. A celebration time. Sorry, listeners,
as we are,
you can't look.
yes,
You can't see what I'm seeing,
we shall show you,
which is a frozen screen.
Oh, nice! That's fantastic.
Who's your man of the match here?
I want to give it to Mr. Dembele.
Dembele. It's not the Dembele that left to China, though. Obviously, that's
He did not go to Lyon, China.
what's his first name?
Musa.
The other Musa. So they have the same name.
Okay.
I'm asking. Oh, okay, no doubt. easy to confuse them, obviously.
They give zero fucks, obviously.
Lyon, with that, sit in third place, man. 6 points clear of fourth place. So they're in the Champions League qualification spot. 3 points behind Lille, and PSG sit 10 points clear with 2 games in hand, suffering their first loss of the season. Word up. That is our big
This
4 games.
segment.
And we shall move on to the midfield.
Hasta la vista, baby. Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, word up. Gonna take it on back to the Premier League, and so we can run down these results. We gave you the big results from the middle of the week. Just to run through some of the other ones. Everton actually went away from home.
Yes. Rare victory.
The Angel
by
Di Maria.
Mr. Yes. He had quite a celebration, but Everton did get a rare victory up.
And away. Wolves crush West Ham United. Arsenal over Cardiff. Fulham battle back from 2 down to win their game 4-2 over Hove. As mentioned, Newcastle with the huge upset of Manchester City, who went ahead in that game within 30 seconds and then proceeded to sleepwalk through the rest of the game. Manchester United with the last-second goal to pull back a 2-0 deficit and get a point at home to Burnley. Liverpool dropped points to Leicester City, so that was an interesting midweek run of games as Tottenham also pulled last-second victories of a last-second victory over Watford and win that 2-1. So, to bring it into the weekend, Tottenham at home versus Newcastle. You can't imagine that Newcastle was going to win again against the top 16, but they damn near got a point.
Yeah, they played them tough. And if Solomon Rondon wasn't kind of shit, and if they had more finishing, they would have done better, I think, in this game. I'm excited about Almiron, the guy they got from Atlanta FC.
That's right. They broke their
Previous
transfer record.
Yes, which was previously held by Michael Owen's transfer, which was after he was washed up, and it was like 14 million pounds or some shit.
When was that? How long ago was that?
Like 10 years. No, Mike Ashley has been fucking with
God,
like, that's why they hate him.
So Tottenham again pulling out a last-second victory, getting all 3 points, and with this they had moved into second place, about 5-6 points back of Liverpool, 7 points back of Liverpool at that moment. Brighton Hove and Watford battle to a 0-0 draw.
Borefest.
Boom. Let's look at them. Brighton Hove, oh my God. 21 total shots to Watford's 5. Watford decided to...
Let's just count shots on target, though.
4 to none.
Okay.
But Watford just slept. It looks like Watford slept through this game.
And still managed to draw.
You still got a point. Crystal fucking Palace 2-0 over Fulham. Much needed for Crystal Palace. Without Zaha, right?
Yeah. Zaha got sent off. But with new loan signing Mishi Batshuayi, who actually assisted the
On
winning.
the first goal?
Actually, I think it's on the second goal. I don't know if it's a direct assist or an assist too. But yeah, he was part of the play on the winning goal.
No doubt. I can't believe, what is that? Christian Benteke still out there.
Doing nothing.
Doing nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, Batch. Interesting. There he is. Batshuayi.
Came out in the 72nd minute. I mean, in the 82nd minute.
Word up. All right. Moving along, though. 3 huge points for Crystal Palace. Chelsea, 5-0 on Huddersfield. Just abuse here. Huddersfield, the worst team in the league. All of a sudden, Sarri's like, I saw my ball. I saw my football today.
They were motivated. Hazard double, Higuain double. That's more impressive than the 5-0 is that Higuain gets his brace to start it off.
Until he gets fit, he is a big Wayne.
If he can score 2 every 2 games and get fit that way, they'll take it right now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Burnley almost with all 3 points versus Southampton. Southampton with a 94th minute. No, excuse me, the other way around. Almost all 3 points for Southampton. They give a point back to Burnley, the 94th minute.
They don't want it. They're not ready.
Well, that keeps both of them in the relegation discussion. Everton at home to Wolves. Wolves put it on that ad. Wolves, man.
Wolves are coming together. Like, it's a really, really good team. I think that these were teams that were like trains passing in the night. I think the Wolves are on the up, and Everton is, like, I think Marco Silva's time there is going to be limited. It's funny how hard it was to get him, but last week when the Paris Saint-Germain approached him about Idrissa Gueye, there's rumors that he suggested he would walk out, he would quit if they sold him, and they basically just looked at him and continued negotiating. The only reason they didn't sell the kid is because they didn't get the price they wanted. And they've been getting their ass beat.
How the Premier League management tables turn. Interesting. Moving along, though, Cardiff City in a very emotional game, honoring a guy who never actually played for them, put it on Bournemouth, who have to feel hard done after getting all 3 points versus Chelsea and losing to Cardiff 2-0.
Yeah, I was actually more upset that it was the primary game of the Saturday, because it was a boring ass fucking game. But I'm happy for the Cardiff fans, and it's good. It was a good farewell to Mr. Salah that they did that. But they could have done that in a 10 o'clock game too.
It was the 12:30 game. I actually watched part of it, most of it.
Sorry.
Sunday morning, though, Leicester City, Manchester United.
I wanted to join the Salah search after the game.
After the
they should, man. They needed somebody.
They did, man. They did. That has been resolved. Almost. Leicester City hosting Manchester United. Manchester United get all 3 points with a peach of a goal, in which they did nothing after that.
Absolutely. Paul Pogba has now reverted to the Pogba he loves to be, which is create 1 or 2 really big chances over the course of the game and trot around for the rest of the game. It's awesome.
Sloppy, man.
And he just talks about how happy he is. I'm like, you should have stomped him then if you're so happy. This is a 1-0 win that was kind of sloppy.
His brother's always talking to the damn press for some reason. And it's like, Pogba was thinking about leaving, but he's happy now. I was like, what is this bullshit? Like, who is happy? Like, happy is a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck ever, man.
I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You should have still done your job.
Yeah, exactly. Like, anyway.
Be happy on your own time. You're at work right now.
For real. A few minutes before that, Rashford had missed a nice little header. But, man, that was a beautiful control and composed
beautiful
finish.
Pass to begin with from Papa.
Absolutely.
But when Rashford came up, I thought he was going to be just another one of these young English guys that are not like Welbeck or Daniel Sturridge or something. That this guy's a monster.
Yeah.
He's more along the lines of like who Andy Cole used to be back in the day for Manchester United. Like, he's a prolific scorer. He has more than 10 league goals in all 3 seasons he's played so far.
Mm-hmm. Word up. All 3 points. That's 9 wins and a draw in 10 matches for Coach Gunnar. Moving. Yep. And we have West Ham, Liverpool 0-0 in the 14th minute. This game is on, so if anything happens while we're recording this, man, we'll update you. Word up. Next section, man. Move along to the rest of the big leagues in Europe, and we will start you off in La Liga. The big matches, some interesting results there. Huesca smashing Valladolid on Friday 4-0. Had to mention that. They're at the bottom of the fucking table, and they put up 4. Valladolid.
Valladolid is going to join them.
Getafe on a nice run. Get that ended with a 0-0 draw to Levante. We mentioned the Barcelona game. Sevilla.
Get it done.
Yeah.
To them.
They got done. Celta Vigo, who's sitting in 19th place, I think, get the 1-0 victory over Sevilla as they continue their up and down, typical up and down stuff that they usually do.
Yeah, Sevilla. I don't know the way they lost to Barcelona in the midweek.
Yeah, Barcelona smashed them, 6-1?
Yeah, they just absolutely sharded all over them, and I think that they're still suffering from that.
Well, obviously. Villarreal draw 2-2 Espanyol. I think you sent me a tweet where the guy was like, man, Villarreal was too good to go down the other 2 times.
The last 2 times they got relegated, and it's so true, and I think it's going to happen again. Villarreal is going to get relegated. I don't know how they keep coming back, because Villarreal is a very small, it's like Fulham. When they got relegated, it took them a long time to come back because they have a small support and a small stadium and all that. Villarreal is kind of the equivalent, except if you take them out of a London-style city and just move them into some suburb of Spain.
Yeah. The big result in La Liga, Real Betis at home to Atletico Madrid, and they get all 3 points, 1-0.
Real Betis, since 2019 has begun, have been on a tear, man. They're balling up. I guess the Quique Setién. This is what happens when you loan and buy a lot of players over the course of a summer. It takes them time to get integrated. Same thing that we were talking about with Wolves earlier. Same thing here. Now they're looking nice. They play spectacular football. They're so much fun to watch.
Eibar 3-0 over Girona, Smash City, and Real Madrid 3-0 over Alaves. Creeping a little bit there, Real Madrid is, and they got a chance to creep even more this coming weekend.
Karim Benzema has been on a fucking tear this past couple of months, to where Santiago Solari had to talk about him. Like, well, some people just found out about Benzema last week. I've always known he was spectacular. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Okay, bro.
So him, and the big story was that Vinicius scored, but the little story is that Mariano Diaz also scored. So their offense is looking decent in this game.
Vinicius is nice.
Yeah,
playing
Vinicius
well.
is nice. Yeah,
He's like 18, 19.
has all the makings to be a nice Robinho 2.0 for them. I hope that's where his ceiling is.
No doubt. La Liga top 4 stands as Barcelona 6 points clear of Atletico Madrid, who are 2 points clear of Real Madrid. Madrid derby this weekend, I may add. And Sevilla sit 4th place, 4 points clear of Getafe, who are even on points with Betis and have, I guess, the head-to-head since they're ranked ahead. Yay. That's La Liga for you. Moving along, Serie A.
It was a bit of a shit week in Serie A.
It was a little bit. Napoli smashes Sampdoria 3-0.
Quagliara's scoring streak ends.
One short of the record. He's now tied for the record. Did not get it on his own. Juventus do some things and drop some points.
Yeah.
Parma.
We found out this weekend that Gervinho is as good as Ronaldo.
Gervinho with the brace.
Gervinho with the dos goals.
Yay. No doubt.
Cancelled out Ronaldo's dos and they ended 3-3. Big up Parma. Away in Turin.
And a 93rd minute goal for Gervinho.
Yeah.
He did that earlier this year. He's been balling for them, dude.
Yeah, man.
Parma getting a point away to Juventus. Big time. Inter continue their fucking free fall, but they were so comfortable in 3rd. They're still sitting comfortable in 3rd place.
They're in an island, but I don't know how much longer Luciano Spalletti is going to last with these results.
Yeah, it's been bad for Inter since coming back from the break. They have not come back from the break, it seems like. Roma, Milan. Milan up 1-0 in this game. Roma pull it back.
Battle of the New Boys. Piatek scores for Milan. I like his celebration. You slide on the ground and do the gun celebration.
Yes.
But
Zaniolo.
You know Zaniolo, I don't know if I mentioned last week, he was the makeshift in the trade for Inter getting a 9-goal from Roma. They gave them their kid.
Really?
Like that's what Monchi asked for, as in addition to money.
No doubt. Milan getting a point here. They hold on to 4th place. Lazio with a 1-0 over Frosinone, and Cagliari at Atalanta play right now. That leaves Juventus 9 points clear of Napoli in a dream world. Maybe, possibly, maybe not. Inter
If they
are
play
now,
Gervinho every week, it's gonna be a problem.
man, they should have signed Napoli should have been trying to sign Gervinho.
Nah.
Inter 11 points back of Napoli, like you said, on the island. They're only 4 points up on AC Milan, but considering how Milan, Roma, Lazio, I mean, Inter seem to be safe, but they got to turn this around at some point, man. Have to. Yeah, man, that's Serie A for you. Hit you off with this Bundesliga review. There were some good results here too.
Eintracht.
Yeah, them. Leipzig smashed City over Hanover 3-0.
Yeah.
Wolfsburg getting the 1-0 over Hertha, and Dortmund drawing with Eintracht Frankfurt away. Good week to do it though, as Bayern also dropped points.
Yes.
On the flip
Bayern
side,
actually get beaten, and Dortmund tie, so they actually extended their lead.
extend their lead.
I told you this was a theme we would be returning to.
Dusseldorf still snatching points off the upper echelons of the league with a 1-1 draw to Hoffenheim. Mönchengladbach, Thorgan Hazard balling out in this joint 2-0 over Schalke, and that moves them actually into 2nd place. Ahead on goal. They have the stingiest defense, at least on goals, in the league, man.
Can Diving for Glory take credit for their rise up the ranks, since before we talked about it, they were not in 2nd place, and now they are in 2nd place.
Well, you know how. Yes, we can, Cartman. Yes, we can. Yeah, man. Bundesliga stands as Dortmund 7 points clear of both Mönchengladbach and Bayern, as Mönchengladbach sits 2nd, I guess, on goal difference in Bundesliga, I believe.
Yep.
Leipzig 37 points, 5 behind Bayern, and 5 up on 5th place Frankfurt, 6th place Wolfsburg, Leverkusen creeping 7th, 8th. Like, there's
It's the year of parity in the
it is.
Bundesliga.
It is, and there's not much of a relegation battle outside of 2 teams, Stuttgart and Augsburg.
Oh, there's going to be a relegation battle.
I think some of these other teams are going to fall into it.
Oh, yeah.
Fortuna, Freiburg.
How many teams do you think are fighting for relegation in England? I think it's out of the bottom 3. I think 2 are already gone. One is really trying to survive, so it's the same concept here, you know. Stuttgart will give it a fight, but I think they're going down. They might pull Augsburg or maybe Fortuna, but that's about it.
That would be Sadio Mane with a goal.
1-0,
21st minute over West Ham at the moment. Moving along, hit you with this very brief league. Make them say,
No.
Lille smash City 4-0 over Nice. That's what you get for getting rid of Balotelli.
To Nice.
Monaco, whoa, get 3 points, man. Nice spin, Mane.
Mane, wickedness.
Was that Firmino or the Robertson? Ooh, it was really nice. You can't let that happen. Come on. Anyway, drop some points, son. Also, yeah, like I said, Monaco getting all 3 points. They could still easily come out of. That's how bad the league has been. They can easily still come out of relegation. Marseille.
They tower over the people in relegation zone or even in the bottom half of the league in terms of like player wages and stuff. So they should get out of there.
Marseille took a 2-1 loss to Stade de Reims, and Montpellier with the draw to Nimes, and as we mentioned, Lyon. This league still over. PSG 10 up on Lille. Lille 3 points up on Lyon. Saint Etienne sitting 4th. Montpellier, etc., etc. Ligue 1.
Marseille in fucking 10th place. They fucking up.
Fucking up big time. Moving along, man. We got blessed in the Copa del Rey draw, as we mentioned earlier, and there is Double Clasico got coming up. Copa del Rey, man.
We have the first leg this week, and then the return is going to be right after the Clásico, the League Clásico.
Oh, they
We're going to play
in
the League Clásico in the
February?
end of February, and then
wow.
the first weekend of March is the first midweek of March is the second leg.
Okay. Wow. I think it's the other way around. But
But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is like they play within 4 days. Is
oh,
the
that's
second
crazy.
game.
That's crazy. I didn't realize the League Classico was so early this year. It's usually like in April or something. Fascinating, man. Thoughts on this game? Like, you think this matters a bit much? I mean, is it Classico no matter what it matters, or does it matter more here to Real Madrid as they just?
There's levels of things, right? Like, so it's Clásico. It always matters. It's always like the biggest game. So it's the hugest rivalry game. So you have to win it. But this year they're far apart, so the intensity of the feeling of winning or losing isn't as bad. But there's a lot to find out too, because Real Madrid is kind of a new team, and Barca has been stomping on the previous versions of Real Madrid consistently for the past 4 or 5 years. So, it should be interesting.
Do you expect strong teams, top strong teams on both sides?
Yeah. It was funny because Barca was insisting on the Chilison experiment, but he's out right now. So, like, they're actually going to, through need, play.
Romelu?
No, Ter Stegen.
Oh, just a second. Oh,
Yeah, they're not even
playing
playing the second string goalkeeper. Is what I'm trying to say.
because they usually do in Copa del Rey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. Okay. Any chance of anybody being able to see this game? What is it on? BN?
Yeah, you can get on being.
Yeah, as long as you don't have Comcast.
Yeah, they're online now, so you can.
Who, BN? They have a package or something?
I mean, they're part of like football and sling and stuff. So
Yeah. Sling. No doubt. All right. Well, Classico, man, coming up. Exciting.
Yeah, and then followed right back with the Athletic Bilbao. In the Copa del Rey, they're pretty even in terms of meetups. I think they played 10 times and 5-5 wins. So, see how it goes.
Okay. No doubt. Moving along. Forward section. Word up. Dude of the week. Prestigious, egregious award shit. Dude of the week goes to
El Kun Sergio Aguerro. 4-goal week. Hat-trick against Arsenal. 1 goal in a losing opportunity, but like he's been kicking ass.
He balled the fuck out even outside of the goals.
He's been running like before. It was like Aguero's impact is only if he scores. He doesn't do much more, but like he has been a big time leader for that team this season.
Yay, citizens.
And he's played a lot more football this season, it seems, than he has in the past couple of seasons.
Yeah. Let's not jinx that. Moving along, goal of the week.
It's about to be this Felipe Anderson free kick right now. I'm just joking.
That would be awesome.
Goal of the week, I'd give to Mr. They actually just scored the Felipe Anderson free kick. He didn't, but like he passed it and they scored it. So that is not goal of the week. It is still Leon Bailey, but West Ham just tied the game.
It just okey doked them, dude. Oh man, oh man. Through ball. What a lovely training ground exercise. Allison does nothing for that. Just watches it.
Oh man,
Yes, hammers.
So game back on over here. We'll see how that goes.
No doubt. Oh, who's that?
Michael Antonio. Mikel.
Keita?
Huh?
That Keita getting beat?
I'm sure it's one of them. Everybody getting beat.
Everybody in the club.
Getting beat.
All right, word up. Upcoming, man. So, as mentioned, midweek Classico. Also in Also in La
Premier
Liga,
League.
Betis, Valencia, Atletico, and Real.
Yes.
At-
It's going to be a big time game.
at the Wanda
Metropolitana Estadio.
What are you expecting here? What's your prediction?
I will go with an Atletico Madrid victory.
Me too. 1-0.
I would actually go with a 2-1 or
2-1.
3-1. I think that Real Madrid will score in this game at some point.
Okay. Atleti, I got the 1-0. Dortmund play Hoffenheim, Fiorentina at home to Napoli, and then big time matchup City and Chelsea. If we remember, not too long ago in December, Chelsea with the 2-0.
This is
over
after City's midweek game this
against
week.
Everton.
Yes.
Just unfair, man, unfair. But it is what it is.
Dude, that's what winning cups does. You play more.
Oh,
There's
for
a
sure,
finite
man.
amount of time.
For sure. Moving along, though. We're done. Holla, holla. That is Diving for Glory, episode 24. Check us on iTunes, YouTube, and divingforglory.com. Don't forget on Twitter, at Diving for Glory, and Facebook. Hit us up. Like us, share us. Hashtag, all that shit, man. Appreciate anyone who takes the time to listen to us. And that match is in the books. Starts off-
Peace!
Of course, y'all. Holla.
Diving.
What do you think of condoms?
Diving.
He's not a man. There's nothing more to say.
Diving.
Glory.